Hi guys, so this clip's going to be about mulching, the best way actually to mulch your garden beds. For instance, did you know that there is a certain way of mulching that you can turn your soil from acidic to alkaline, or from alkaline to acidic, depending on what mulches you apply. Mulches are just, anything that is organic matter that you put on top of your bed to do several things, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what mulch actually does for your garden soil. But first we're going to have a look at different types of mulch. So there's straw, some seaweed, also cardboard, and some grass clippings. Also what is good is leaf mold, bark mulch, and sawdust as well. Now last but not least, all the cow manures, chicken manures, horse manures, etc. They all make great mulches as well. We're here today in Glengarriff Woods. Just a quick example of how nature actually does her own kind of mulching. She's been doing it for millions and millions of years. Just look at a soil floor in autumn, you'll see leaves everywhere. Just a quick note on how nature actually absorbs all these leaves back into herself, back into the trees, is by having lots and lots of little microbes in the soil. Just a little tiny amount of soil will have like literally trillions of microbes in there, fungi, bacteria, and also like worms and different things like that, beetles. And they take the mulch, take it down into the soil, they make it into a water soluble form that actually the trees can absorb. Now you'll notice today I'm filming today and I'm also going to be mulching today on a rainy day, and the reason for that is because I want the mulch to be wet, I want the ground to be wet, because these microbes just do much better at decomposing the mulch when it's wet. They can get into it, So we're going to have a quick look at the soil in general. We talk a little bit more about that, and then we're going to go and get to mulching. So just a very quick look at the actual soil. If you look at the strands here, they're basically fungal strands. They're the roots of the fungus. They spread themselves out into, through the entire layer, as I said earlier. You can see them there. If you take a closer look, you can see them going through the soil layer. So how then does this actually apply to vegetables in our vegetable beds? Certain soils are bacteria dominated, others are fungally dominated, and also, like for instance, the fungally dominated ones are acidic soils, and also the bacteria dominated ones are alkaline soils. And this is because fungi and bacteria will actually tweak the soil, so to speak, to the conditions that they actually prefer. And trees actually like acidic conditions, and vegetables actually prefer alkaline conditions. So by adding the right mulch, you can actually change it to suit your own needs, suit the needs of the vegetables. So the things to add for your trees and shrubs is bark mulch, paper, cardboard, things like that. And for your vegetables, the thing to add is actually grass clippings, different manures, molasses, straw, even sawdust can be used for bacterial dominated soils as well. I've got some seaweed here, and I'm going to add that to the soil layer. I'm only going to add a very, very small amount, and that's just to stop the slugs from actually laying their eggs underneath the straw. So what I do is I just spread it on thinly. So I've added the seaweed. Notice how I'm actually reclaiming some of the area there, some of the land. It's full of weeds. Now this would be a problem in summertime, because any perennial weed will actually get through your mulch, so it would be a complete waste of time. But at the same time, we're here now in late autumn, and most weeds will stop growing soon, because once everything goes below 6 degrees, plants just stop growing. So this is actually a good way to actually smother out the weeds. Now these bales are great. You can get them sometimes spoiled, quite often actually. You can get them, they've already been rained on, or they may be 2 or 3 years old and they can't be used again. Usually it's hay, and they're great because they come out in these slices which are about 10 centimeter thick, and it's the same with the big round bales as well. They come out in a big sheet, a big mat, and you can just roll them out over your beds. So this really is the best thing you can do for your soil, because what you're doing is you're allowing nature to create these little tunnels. You're digging the soil without actually digging it. Nature is doing all the digging, making little tunnels for airways, for drainage, And as you know, this is really good for your soil roots. You're also feeding the soil. You also it's a good way to kill any kind of weeds that are there already, and also it stops any kind of soil erosion. You know, the wind doesn't blow away the soil particles, and the rain doesn't wash away all the nutrients. So I hope you enjoyed the clip. If you liked it, please subscribe, and also like it on Facebook if you're on Facebook. See you next week.